School life can be a hard, confusing time. Sitting on the street, this girl asked herself, why did she want to change? Was it to find a place where she belonged? But seeing a blonde boy approaching her holding a lemon soda, she knew he was the reason. Sometime after that event, Kai Miura experienced normal days tiredly arriving at school in the morning, where his friends commented on the fact that he'd been drinking lemon soda a lot lately. From the very start, fellow classmate, 15-year-old Uka Ishimori, took notice of him. Two additional classmates appeared to pick on Kai, pointing at how he stood out because of his clothes and yellow hair. In response, he just turned, shaking up his soda to spray at them, accidentally soaking Uka instead. Ayumi scolded him and ran up to Uka, shouting for someone to bring a towel. But all Uka could think about was that someone was actually talking to her and was worried about her as well. She had no idea how to respond in this situation. But hearing Ayumi telling Kai he needed to apologize, she was met by his aloof, simple sorry. This made Uka flush red. She screamed sorry as well while running away. Satoru thinks he may have seen Uka before, so Ayumi brought up that Uka was actually in their class. Changing by the cubbies, Uka recounted her school life not having been good so far. Back in middle school, her nickname was Stone, as she'd often make people around her feel unpleasant, and this would thus lead to her being bullied. But getting splashed by Kai today made her feel kind of happy. Perhaps a little weird of her to feel, but she wanted to live each day cheerfully and enjoyably. Now standing up for class duties though, she hoped her teacher wouldn't comment on her being the only person wearing a PE uniform. However, the teacher did ask about two people wearing it, both Uka and Kai, where the latter had answered he got soaked from spilling juice. Everyone in the class laughed, but Uka didn't remember him getting soaked too. The two of them had gone to different middle schools, but she'd known him one-sidedly since before entering high school. It was winter during her third year of middle school. His hair color reminded her of lemon soda. It was stimulating. Returning home, she received a loving welcome from her mother, and from her father, a comment on how the students she went to school with were too flashy, suggesting that it wasn't too late for her to transfer out. However, she was insistent she liked the school she was going to. She thought of her parents as overprotective, and that her personality was the result of having been spoiled by their kindness. She was careless and always blamed herself, but she didn't want to go on like this. She planned to make a change starting tomorrow. She got too excited and arrived too early to school. This was her chance though. She practiced saying, "Good morning," but her voice cracked at first. Then, she tried again loudly, when suddenly Kai entered. She certainly wasn't expecting this and wanted to disappear now. But Kai gave her a good morning back, then had her repeat slowly, having her phrase, "Good morning." With him now suddenly taking a phone call, she was blown away by the fact she had actually gotten a greeting from him. During class, the teacher called on Ayumi to answer, but she had no idea. With him threatening detention, she started panicking. However, she was allowed to call for a friendly lifeline. Uka knew she could solve it, but felt she might be doing something unnecessary by helping. However, she pushed herself through, opening her book to the answer for Ayumi. Getting the math equation correctly now, everyone clapped and applauded Uka's intelligence. She could hardly believe people were saying nice things about her. After class ended, Ayumi thanked her while introducing herself, and offered Uka to walk to class with her and Satoru. Another surprising moment for Uka. However, happiness was fleeting, with some of Uka's old classmates from middle school calling her Stone again, questioning why she was here, and if she flunked Shinsei Academy's exam. These three were bullies, calling her dull, clumsy, always spacing out, and never good at PE lessons. She got her nickname for never talking and always having a stiff face. This made Uka shrink and run off. These bullies took joy in this, simply heading their way as well after belittling her. Kai's friend group discussed the bullies, but also pondered why Uka chose to come to this school. In a hall corner, Uka took her own actions as getting too carried away. That's right, she was just a stone. No, if she kept thinking like that, nothing would change. In the school library, she fell asleep to the words, I have to change. She woke up to Kai saying, I keep telling myself that I have to change, but I pushed myself, and that turned into pressure. It's more like I'm cursed. She was flabbergasted seeing him here and apologized while covering her paper. But in response, he told her not to. She was about to apologize again, but caught herself. Even being in the same space as Kai, she felt her own aura was sluggish in comparison. She suddenly heard one of the bullies from below outside the window, saying she had taken Stone's shoes again. Uka hurried down, where one of the bullies threw her shoes into the trash bin, laughing while they took their leave. Uka stared, saddened, picking out her trashed shoes. She was saddened because nothing had changed. She didn't think any more about it, because it just got more painful the more she thinks. She wanted to harden herself, like stone, but jolted, hearing Kai telling her to have some kind of reaction. He told her to ask someone for help. He was surprised though, hearing her respond, ask who. She now wished she had gotten into Shinsei Academy, where a peaceful and quiet daily life would surely have been guaranteed. She remembered the counselor back then telling her and her mother she'd have no problem getting in with her grades and skill set. But what she really wanted to change wasn't her environment. It was herself. She really wanted to go to Hachimitsu High, where she was at now. That evening during the third-year middle school winter, the bullies bumped into her, accidentally knocking her flyers for her 2 high school choices over. Noticing who she was, they just laughed and walked away. That's where Kai first approached her, picking up the 2 flyers and telling her Hachimitsu High would suit her unexpectedly well. Mostly because he was going there too. He handed her the flyers back and took off with his friends. That was when she had met who she believed was the most gorgeous boy, and bawled her eyes out after his leave. She wondered why her hand wouldn't move during her Shinsei Academy exam, but that moment was why she went to her current school. She believed Kai in no way would remember that, but for her, that moment was everything. Running to the convenience store for a lemon soda, she wished for courage once more. At school, the bullies tried to coerce Uka into buying them lunch, so, opening her bag, she sprayed them with lemon soda. Aha, take that. Finally, some good payoff. The male bully pushed her down, but Kai and his friends came to her aid, with him kneeling down to tell her to say that thing from yesterday, and his words rang through her head. The person he wanted her to ask for help from was him. She struggled with it, so he had her repeat, help me, 1 syllable at a time after him. And then, she said it fully with tears running down her face. He smiled back at her, telling her she did good. Then, got up to call the bullies a bunch of uglies and fuglies, and threatened them to try to bully her again. The 3 only chose to run away. All bark, no bite. Uka continued to weep, and Kai told her to stop crying on her knees like that. She'd get in people's way, especially in the city. She was surprised he actually remembered. Since that day, Kai has been everything to her. She wanted to change. She apologized, smiling this time face to face with him. In the spring of her first year of high school, her curse had been lifted by that lemon soda. Oh man, what a both sad and satisfying start to this anime. Subscribe to the channel to keep up with next week's episode. Also, watch this next video. It's me, ComfyTea. I'll see you all in the next one.